Some years change the way we travel, and 2026 is shaping up to be one of them. Around the world, cities are reinventing themselves, blending history, culture, innovation, and everyday life into experiences that feel more alive than ever before. These are places where ancient streets meet bold, modern visions, where local culture shapes every corner, and where each city tells a story that goes far beyond famous landmarks. In 2026, it's not just about ticking destinations off a list. It's about walking neighborhoods with real soul, tasting flavors shaped by generations, and feeling the energy of cities that are defining the future of travel. Some of these cities are timeless icons entering a new era. Others are rising quietly, ready to surprise the world with creativity, beauty, and unforgettable atmosphere. So get ready to explore the 25 best cities to visit in 2026. A carefully curated journey through vibrant urban landscapes, cultural powerhouses, and cities that capture the spirit of the year ahead. Vienna. Some cities impress instantly. Vienna reveals itself slowly, and that's exactly why 2026 is the perfect time to experience it. This is a city where imperial history and modern life move in quiet harmony, where grand palaces coexist with cutting-edge art, music, and design. Walking through Vienna feels refined yet alive. Baroque facades glow at golden hour, tree-lined boulevards invite long cafe conversations, and classical music still feels woven into everyday life. But beyond its timeless elegance, Vienna is evolving. New cultural districts, revitalized riverfronts, and a thriving creative scene are giving the city fresh energy without losing its soul. In 2026, Vienna stands out for its balance. You can explore world-class museums by day, discover contemporary galleries by afternoon, and end the night in cozy wine taverns or modern rooftop spaces. Parks, coffee houses, and historic neighborhoods encourage slower travel, the kind that lets a city truly sink in. Vienna isn't loud or chaotic. It's confident, cultured, and deeply atmospheric. For travelers seeking beauty, depth, and quality of life all in one place, Vienna in 2026 feels less like a trip and more like stepping into a perfectly composed moment in time. Hanoi. At first glance, Hanoi feels chaotic, but stay a little longer, and its rhythm becomes unforgettable. In 2026, this city is emerging as one of Asia's most captivating destinations, blending deep history with a young, creative pulse. The old quarter hums with life. Narrow streets overflow with street food aromas, scooters weave through centuries-old architecture, and daily routines feel beautifully human. Yet just beyond the bustle, quiet lakes, shaded boulevards, and colonial-era buildings reveal a softer, reflective side of the city. Hanoi's strength lies in contrast. Ancient temples sit beside modern cafes. Traditional markets exist next to contemporary art spaces. In 2026, the city's cultural revival is impossible to miss, from rising design scenes to food culture that continues to redefine global expectations. Evenings bring a special magic. Streetlights reflect on calm waters, families gather in public squares, and the city feels warm, personal, and alive. Hanoi doesn't rush you. It invites you to observe, taste, and connect. For travelers craving authenticity, affordability, and soul, Hanoi in 2026 isn't just a destination, it's an experience that stays with you long after you leave. Bangkok. No city on earth moves like Bangkok. In 2026, it remains one of the world's most electrifying destinations. Bold, chaotic, spiritual, and endlessly alive. Bangkok overwhelms in the best way. Golden temples shimmer beside glass skyscrapers. Floating markets coexist with rooftop bars. Street food stalls serve flavors that rival the finest restaurants on the planet. Every turn feels intense, colorful, and unforgettable. Yet beneath the energy, Bangkok has depth. Quiet canals reveal traditional neighborhoods. Ancient temples offer moments of calm. In recent years, the city has leaned into creativity, sustainability, and modern design, making 2026 an ideal moment to experience its evolution. Nightfall transforms the city again. Neon lights reflect on the river, music fills the air, and the city feels limitless. Bangkok doesn't slow down, it adapts, reinvents, and keeps surprising even seasoned travelers. For those seeking excitement, culture, and sensory overload done right, Bangkok in 2026 is unmatched. It's not just a city you visit, it's a city you survive, embrace, and remember forever. Edinburgh. Some cities feel like stories. Edinburgh feels like a legend. In 2026, its dramatic setting and cultural depth make it one of Europe's most compelling cities to explore. Built across hills and ridges, Edinburgh's skyline is unmistakable. The castle rises through mist, stone streets wind through centuries of history, and Gothic architecture gives the city a timeless, cinematic atmosphere. Yet beyond its medieval appearance, Edinburgh is vibrant, intellectual, and forward-looking. The city thrives on creativity. Literature, music, and festivals pulse through its streets year-round, while new food scenes and independent spaces bring modern energy to historic neighborhoods. In 2026, Edinburgh's balance of tradition and innovation feels especially strong. As evening falls, the city transforms. Warm lights glow against dark stone, pubs fill with conversation, and the air feels thick with stories past and present. Edinburgh invites slow exploration, the kind that rewards curiosity. For travelers drawn to atmosphere, history, and character, Edinburgh in 2026 feels like stepping into a living novel where every street has something to say. cities in the world can match the natural drama of Cape Town. In 2026, it stands as one of the most visually stunning and emotionally powerful cities to visit anywhere on Earth. Here, mountains crash into oceans. Table Mountain towers over the city like a guardian, while beaches, vineyards, and rugged coastlines sit minutes apart. The scenery alone is breathtaking, but Cape Town's story goes much deeper. The city is defined by resilience and creativity. Its cultural scene is thriving. Food and wine culture continues to gain global attention, and neighborhoods pulse with art, music, and innovation. In 2026, Cape Town feels more confident, expressive, and alive than ever. Sunsets paint the sky in impossible colors. Streets buzz with energy, yet nature always feels close. Whether you're exploring vibrant districts or escaping into wild landscapes, the city offers contrast at every turn. Cape Town isn't just beautiful, it's moving. In 2026, it remains one of the world's most unforgettable cities, where nature, culture, and emotion collide in the most powerful way. Berlin doesn't try to impress, it provokes. And in 2026, that raw, unfiltered energy is exactly what makes it one of the world's most compelling cities. This is a place where history isn't hidden behind museums. It lives openly in streets, walls, and neighborhoods that refuse to forget or stand still. Berlin moves to its own rhythm. Former factories have transformed into creative spaces. Underground clubs pulse beneath quiet residential blocks, and bold art spills onto city walls without permission. The city's layered past, from division to reunification, gives Berlin a depth few capitals can match. Yet despite its heavy history, the city feels relentlessly forward-looking. In 2026, Berlin's cultural evolution is impossible to ignore. New galleries, design hubs, and experimental food scenes are reshaping districts while preserving their soul. Each neighborhood feels like a different city entirely, offering travelers freedom to explore without rules or expectations. Berlin is not polished, and that's its power. It invites curiosity, rewards individuality, and embraces imperfection. Whether wandering along the Spree, discovering hidden courtyards, or losing track of time in late-night conversations, Berlin feels deeply human. For travelers seeking authenticity, creativity, and a city that never stops redefining itself, Berlin in 2026 is not just a destination, it's a mindset. Athens is often called ancient, but in 2026, it feels unmistakably alive. This is a city where the past doesn't overshadow the present, it fuels it. Marble ruins rise above buzzing neighborhoods, reminding visitors that history here is not distant, it's personal. Walking through Athens feels layered. Ancient temples sit beside modern cafes, street art fills forgotten corners, and everyday life unfolds beneath monuments that shaped the world. In recent years, the city has undergone a creative revival, and by 2026, that momentum is unmistakable. Athens thrives on connection. Long dinners stretch into night, conversations spill into streets, and the city's warmth feels genuine. Neighborhoods like Siri and Kukaki pulse with culture, blending tradition with bold, modern expression. Rooftop views frame timeless landmarks against glowing sunsets, creating moments that feel both historic and immediate. What makes Athens special in 2026 is balance. It offers depth without heaviness, energy without chaos, and authenticity without pretension. The city invites slow exploration, not to rush through landmarks, but to absorb its rhythm. Athens isn't frozen in time. It's evolving, expressive, and confident. For travelers seeking meaning, soul, and a city that feels profoundly human, Athens in 2026 delivers far more than history. It delivers life. Orlando. In 2026, Orlando stands at a turning point no longer defined by a single identity, but by transformation. While its legendary attractions still draw millions, the city has quietly evolved into a vibrant hub of entertainment, culture, and lifestyle-driven travel. Orlando's energy is optimistic and expansive. New creative districts, food scenes, and green spaces are reshaping the city beyond its famous theme parks. The atmosphere feels playful yet ambitious, welcoming families, creatives, and global travelers alike. What makes Orlando compelling in 2026 is its reinvention. Cultural venues, modern neighborhoods, and live entertainment have added depth to the city's experience. Evenings buzz with events, rooftop dining, and immersive attractions that extend far beyond traditional expectations. The city's year-round warmth encourages outdoor life, while constant innovation keeps experiences fresh. Orlando doesn't ask travelers to slow down. It invites them to engage, explore, and enjoy without limits. Orlando may not be ancient or historic, but it understands something essential: joy. In 2026, it represents experience-driven travel at its most accessible and energetic. For those seeking excitement, creativity, and a city built around imagination, Orlando proves that the future of travel can still feel fun, bold, and unforgettable. Catania. Catania doesn't hide its intensity, it embraces it. In 2026, this Sicilian city stands out as one of Europe's most authentic and emotionally charged destinations. Built from volcanic stone and living beneath Mount Etna, Catania exists in constant dialogue with nature. The streets feel alive and unapologetic. Markets overflow with sound and color, Baroque buildings carry scars of past eruptions, and daily life unfolds with raw honesty. Etna looms above the city, shaping not only the landscape, but the mindset of the people who live here. In recent years, Catania has been quietly reinventing itself. A younger generation is breathing new life into its cultural scene, transforming abandoned spaces into art hubs, music venues, and bold culinary experiences. By 2026, this creative resurgence gives the city fresh momentum without diluting its character. Catania isn't polished, it's powerful. It rewards travelers who seek truth over perfection, energy over comfort, and experience over spectacle. Life here feels loud, passionate, and deeply real. For those drawn to cities with grit, soul, and undeniable personality, Catania in 2026 offers an unforgettable journey into the heart of Sicily's raw spirit. Essaouira. Essaouira feels like a pause button on the world, and in 2026, that calm is its greatest luxury. Sitting along Morocco's Atlantic coast, this city offers a rare blend of authenticity, creativity, and peace that modern travelers increasingly crave. Life here moves to the rhythm of the sea. Whitewashed walls reflect endless light, ocean winds cool the air, and the Medina feels open, relaxed, and welcoming. Artists, musicians, and free spirits are drawn to Essaouira's gentle energy, shaping a city that feels creative without trying too hard. In 2026, Essaouira continues to stand apart from louder, faster destinations. Its cultural identity remains intact, supported by small galleries, cafes, and traditional craftsmanship. The ocean defines daily life, whether through fishing ports, long beach walks, or golden sunsets that slow time itself. Essaouira doesn't overwhelm, it restores. It invites reflection, connection, and simplicity. Travelers often arrive for a short stay and leave planning a return. For those seeking balance, atmosphere, and emotional calm, Essaouira in 2026 is not just a city to visit, it's a place to breathe, reset, and remember what travel is truly about. Ghent. Some cities shine quietly, and Ghent is one of them. In 2026, this Belgian city stands out as a perfect blend of medieval beauty and modern creativity, offering travelers depth without the overwhelming crowds of Europe's more famous capitals. Ghent feels lived in and authentic. Gothic towers rise above canals, historic guild houses glow at night, and cobblestone streets feel rich with stories rather than staged for tourists. Unlike postcard-perfect cities that feel frozen in time, Ghent moves forward naturally, shaped by a strong student culture and a thriving arts scene. In recent years, the city has leaned into sustainability, culture, and slow travel, making 2026 an ideal moment to experience its evolution. Independent galleries, plant-filled cafes, and revitalized waterfronts give Ghent a fresh, youthful energy while respecting its medieval soul. Evenings are where the city truly shines. Warm lights reflect on the canals, conversations spill onto quiet streets, and the atmosphere feels intimate and welcoming. Ghent doesn't rush you, it invites you to wander. For travelers seeking beauty with substance, history with creativity, and charm without crowds, Ghent in 2026 feels like discovering Europe the way it was meant to be experienced. Gdansk. Standing proudly along the Baltic coast, Gdansk is a city shaped by resilience, and in 2026, that story makes it one of Europe's most compelling destinations. Rebuilt from near total destruction, the city today feels vibrant, confident, and beautifully layered. Walking through Gdansk's old town reveals colorful facades, ornate merchant houses, and a waterfront that feels both historic and alive. The city's maritime heritage runs deep, giving it a character distinct from anywhere else in Poland. Yet Gdansk is not defined by its past alone. In 2026, the city's cultural energy continues to rise. Creative spaces, museums, and a growing food scene are reshaping its identity, while the nearby coast adds a refreshing sense of openness. Life here feels balanced, thoughtful but optimistic, historic yet forward-looking. Evenings bring a special calm. Reflections shimmer along the river, cafes glow softly, and the city feels unhurried. Gdansk rewards travelers who take their time, offering meaning rather than spectacle. For those seeking history with heart, coastal beauty, and a city that quietly inspires, Gdansk in 2026 proves that rebirth can be just as beautiful as origin. Kotor. Set between towering mountains and a fjord-like bay, Kotor feels unreal, and in 2026, it remains one of Europe's most visually dramatic cities. Stone walls climb steep hillsides, medieval streets twist through the old town, and the surrounding landscape feels almost theatrical. Kotor's beauty is immediate, but its depth reveals itself slowly. Behind ancient gates lies a city shaped by centuries of maritime trade, empires, and resilience. The old town feels intimate and atmospheric, where time seems suspended between stone alleys and quiet squares. In recent years, Kotor has been gaining global attention, but in 2026, it still rewards travelers who explore beyond the surface. Early mornings and evenings reveal a calmer, more authentic side, where the bay reflects mountains and the city breathes again. The climb to the fortress above Kotor offers one of the most unforgettable views in Europe, especially at sunset. From above, the town feels small, ancient, and perfectly placed. For travelers seeking drama, history, and natural beauty in one unforgettable setting, Kotor in 2026 feels like discovering a city carved directly into legend. Ljubljana. Small in size but rich in soul, Ljubljana is one of Europe's quiet success stories, and in 2026, it shines brighter than ever. This capital city offers charm, sustainability, and creativity without the noise of larger destinations. Ljubljana feels gentle and human-scaled. Colorful buildings line the riverbanks, bridges connect lively squares, and cafes spill into pedestrian streets filled with conversation. The city's green philosophy isn't a trend, it's a way of life, shaping how people move, eat, and gather. In 2026, Ljubljana's appeal lies in its balance. It honors its medieval roots while embracing contemporary design, art, and food culture. Local markets, cultural events, and riverfront spaces feel organic, not manufactured. Evenings are calm and intimate. Lights reflect on the river, music drifts softly through the streets, and the city feels safe, relaxed, and welcoming. Ljubljana doesn't overwhelm, it reassures. For travelers seeking beauty, quality of life, and authenticity, Ljubljana in 2026 feels refreshingly real. It's a city that proves you don't need scale to make a lasting impression, just heart, harmony, and vision. Tbilisi. Bold, chaotic, and deeply soulful, Tbilisi is one of the most exciting cities to visit in 2026. Sitting at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, this capital refuses to be easily defined, and that's exactly its power. Tbilisi feels raw and expressive. Colorful balconies hang above narrow streets, sulfur baths steam beneath old neighborhoods, and ancient churches stand beside modern architecture. The city wears its history openly, showing scars, contrasts, and beauty all at once. In recent years, Tbilisi has become a magnet for creatives, entrepreneurs, and travelers seeking authenticity. By 2026, its cultural momentum is undeniable. Wine culture, underground art scenes, and experimental food spaces are redefining the city's global image. Life here is emotional and generous. Long meals, deep conversations, and spontaneous encounters are part of daily rhythm. The city doesn't perform for visitors, it invites them to join. For travelers craving originality, depth, and soul, Tbilisi in 2026 feels electric. It's not polished, not predictable, and never boring, a city that leaves a mark long after you've gone. Singapore? Some cities grow organically. Singapore is engineered, and in 2026, it stands as one of the most refined urban experiences on the planet. This is a city that proves efficiency, beauty, and culture can exist in perfect balance. Singapore feels futuristic without feeling cold. Glass towers rise above tropical gardens, historic neighborhoods remain deeply rooted, and public spaces are designed to be lived in, not just admired. Everything moves with intention, creating an atmosphere that feels calm, confident, and remarkably human. What defines Singapore in 2026 is precision with personality. The city's cultural diversity shapes every corner, from architecture and festivals to language and daily life. Food culture is legendary, not as an attraction, but as a shared identity. Hawker centers and fine dining coexist seamlessly, telling stories of heritage and innovation on every plate. Despite its polished surface, Singapore feels personal. Neighborhoods maintain strong character, community life thrives, and green spaces invite pause in a fast-moving world. Nightfall brings a softer rhythm, where city lights reflect on water and conversations linger. Singapore doesn't overwhelm or demand attention. It earns respect quietly. In 2026, it represents what modern cities can become: clean, creative, culturally rich, and deeply livable. For travelers seeking clarity, comfort, and global sophistication, Singapore delivers effortlessly. Barcelona. Barcelona doesn't just exist, it expresses itself. In 2026, the city feels more self-aware, balanced, and magnetic than ever, offering travelers an experience shaped by creativity, warmth, and Mediterranean soul. Life here unfolds outdoors. Sunlight fills plazas, conversations spill onto streets, and the city moves at a rhythm guided by the sea. Architecture feels emotional rather than monumental, blending bold artistic vision with everyday life. From winding historic quarters to modern waterfronts, Barcelona feels alive at every hour. What sets Barcelona apart in 2026 is maturity. The city has learned to protect its identity while evolving culturally. Neighborhoods feel lived in, not staged. Food culture thrives through local markets and modern kitchens, where tradition meets innovation without losing authenticity. Evenings are where the city truly shines. Warm air, shared meals, music drifting through streets, everything feels open and human. Barcelona doesn't rush moments, it stretches them. For travelers seeking beauty with personality, culture with emotion, and a city that feels welcoming rather than performative, Barcelona in 2026 remains irresistible. It's not just a destination, it's a lifestyle you step into and don't want to leave. Milan. Milan doesn't ask for attention, it commands it. In 2026, this city stands as Italy's most forward-looking destination, where ambition, design, and culture shape everyday life with quiet authority. At first glance, Milan feels serious. Look closer, and depth reveals itself. Historic landmarks anchor the city's past, while contemporary architecture and creative districts define its present. This is a city driven by ideas, fashion, design, technology, and art all flow naturally into daily rhythm. What makes Milan special in 2026 is evolution. The city continues to modernize without losing its identity. New cultural spaces, revitalized neighborhoods, and a rising food scene are giving Milan renewed energy beyond its traditional image. Milan rewards curiosity. Behind busy streets lie hidden courtyards, intimate cafes, and neighborhoods full of local life. Evenings feel refined rather than loud, conversations linger, wine flows slowly, and elegance feels effortless. Milan is not about spectacle, it's about substance. In 2026, it offers travelers confidence, creativity, and authenticity. A city that feels modern without abandoning tradition, and powerful without needing to prove itself. Amsterdam. Pedal through history in Amsterdam, where 2026 brings fresh energy to this timeless canal city. Beyond the iconic waterways and gabled houses, Amsterdam is reinventing itself as Europe's sustainable travel pioneer. The city's car-free zones are expanding, making cycling even more delightful through neighborhoods like Jordan and De Pijp. Art lovers will find paradise at the Rijksmuseum and Van Gogh Museum, but don't miss the cutting-edge NDSM Wharf, where street art meets avant-garde galleries. Spring visitors are treated to millions of tulips blooming at Keukenhof, while summer sees the canals come alive with boat parties and waterside terraces. The food scene has evolved beyond stroopwafels and cheese, though these remain glorious. Innovative restaurants are championing Dutch ingredients with international flair, while the Albert Kuip Market offers authentic local flavors. From the Anne Frank House's poignant history to the vibrant nightlife of Leidsplein, Amsterdam seamlessly blends its rich past with progressive values, making it essential viewing for 2026 travelers seeking authenticity without sacrificing modern comforts. New York City. New York City roars back in 2026, cementing its status as the city that never sleeps or slows down. From the glittering reimagined Penn Station to Hudson Yard's architectural marvels, NYC continues evolving while honoring its legendary spirit. Times Square still dazzles, but savvy travelers are discovering Brooklyn's Domino Park and Queens' vibrant food scenes. The High Line remains a masterclass in urban renewal, connecting Chelsea's galleries with the meatpacking district's boutiques. Central Park offers green sanctuary amid concrete canyons, perfect for picnics overlooking Bethesda Fountain. Culture vultures can spend weeks exploring world-class museums, the Met, MoMA, and the emotionally powerful 9/11 Memorial. Broadway is thriving with innovative productions, while off-Broadway venues push creative boundaries. Foodie heaven awaits, from Michelin-starred restaurants to authentic hole-in-the-wall gems in every neighborhood. Grab pizza in Little Italy, dumplings in Flushing, or soul food in Harlem. Sunset views from the Empire State Building or Brooklyn Bridge remain magical. New York's infectious energy, cultural diversity, and constant reinvention make it unmissable for 2026. Rome. The Eternal City beckons in 2026 with layers of history at every corner. Rome isn't just about ancient ruins. Though the Colosseum, Roman Forum, and Pantheon remain breathtakingly magnificent. This living museum has embraced sustainable tourism while protecting its UNESCO treasures for future generations. Toss coins into the Trevi Fountain at dawn before crowds arrive, then wander through Trastevere's cobbled lanes, where laundry flutters above trattorias, serving cacio e pepe perfected over centuries. Vatican City overwhelms with Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling and St. Peter's Basilica's grandeur. But Rome's magic lies in unexpected moments. Espresso at a corner bar, gelato on Spanish steps, aperitivo hour in Campo dei Fiori. The city's piazzas transform into open-air theaters where locals and travelers mingle beneath golden hour light. New archaeological discoveries continue emerging, while contemporary art galleries inject modern energy into ancient neighborhoods. Rome's combination of extraordinary history, passionate culture, and extraordinary cuisine, from carbonara to supplì, creates an intoxicating experience. In 2026, all roads still lead to Rome. Tokyo. Tokyo defies description in 2026, where ancient temples stand beside neon-drenched skyscrapers and robot restaurants neighbor serene tea houses. Japan's capital is a sensory overload in the best possible way, an electrifying fusion of tradition and innovation that captivates every visitor. Shibuya Crossing's controlled chaos contrasts with Meiji Shrine's peaceful forest sanctuary. Explore Harajuku's wild fashion, then find Zen in traditional gardens. Tsukiji Outer Market serves the world's freshest sushi for breakfast, while Michelin-starred restaurants showcase kaiseki perfection. Don't miss ramen joints, izakayas, and conveyor belt sushi adventures. Akihabara's electronics and anime culture dazzle tech enthusiasts, while Asakusa's Sensoji Temple maintains centuries-old traditions. Cherry blossoms transform the city into pink paradise each spring, though Tokyo captivates year-round. The efficient subway system makes exploring seamless, from Roppongi's nightlife to Ueno's museums and pandas. Tokyo's impeccable service, cutting-edge technology, and respect for heritage create an unforgettable destination. Whether you're shopping in Ginza, gaming in Shinjuku, or learning calligraphy in a cultural workshop, Tokyo consistently exceeds expectations, making it essential for 2026 itineraries. Madrid. Madrid pulses with passionate energy in 2026, proving itself as Europe's most underrated capital. Spain's heart beats strongest here, where late-night dinners lead to even later flamenco shows, and world-class museums rival any global city's cultural offerings. The Golden Triangle of Art, Prado Museum, Reina Sofia, and Thyssen-Bornemisza showcases masterpieces from Velázquez to Picasso. But Madrid's soul lives in its neighborhoods. Upscale Salamanca for shopping, bohemian Malasaña for vintage finds and craft beer, and historic La Latina for tapas hopping every Sunday at El Rastro Flea Market. Retiro Park offers rowing boats and crystal palaces, while Gran Via dazzles with Belle Epoque architecture and rooftop bars overlooking terracotta rooftops. The culinary scene explodes beyond traditional tapas. Mercado de San Miguel tempts with gourmet bites, while Michelin-starred chefs reinvent Spanish classics. Football fans worship at Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, experiencing Real Madrid's legendary atmosphere. Plaza Mayor and Puerta del Sol anchor the city center, where churros can chocolate fuel morning explorations. Madrid's infectious joie de vivre, combined with affordability compared to other European capitals, makes it a 2026 standout. chance in 2026 as it has for centuries, though the City of Light continues evolving beyond romantic cliches. Yes, the Eiffel Tower still sparkles hourly, and Notre Dame's restoration progresses magnificently. But Paris rewards those who venture beyond postcard landmarks. The Louvre and Musée d'Orsay house art history's greatest hits, but emerging galleries in Le Marais showcase contemporary creativity. Montmartre's cobbled streets lead to Sacré-Cœur's stunning views, while Saint-Germain-des-Prés maintains intellectual café culture, where Sartre once philosophized. Culinary excellence permeates every arrondissement. From croissants that shatter perfectly to Michelin-starred innovations. Neighborhood markets overflow with cheese, charcuterie, and fresh produce, while wine bars introduce natural wines, revolutionizing French viticulture. The Latin Quarter's bookshops and bistros charm students and travelers alike. Seine River cruises provide magical perspectives of illuminated bridges and monuments. Luxembourg Gardens invite leisurely afternoons, while Versailles' opulence lies just outside city limits. Paris balances haute couture along Champs-Élysées with vintage treasures in Canal Saint-Martin's boutiques. Despite tourism pressures, Paris maintains its sophistication, romance, and artistic soul, essential elements making it timeless for 2026 and beyond.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and Threads. Visit www.scenichunter.com for more details. Don't forget to subscribe to The Scenic Hunter for another exciting adventurous journey. Until then, it's goodbye from us.